Hey there, Adrienne Elise here. Welcome to the GAIA Daily for October 5th through 9th, 2020. How are you doing? Well, what a powerful culmination of energies this month of October. It's one of those squeezing times, and we have to just step back and understand that the squeezing is trying to push us through that portal, out of the lower matrix and into the truth of who we really are. Mercury is coming into an exact square with Uranus as it prepares to turn direct on the 13th. Mercury is in Scorpio, and so it's speaking to the shadows and what's been hidden in the depths that needs to come to the surface for us to really live here on this earth. This is the big lie we've all been told, is that this is actually living. And it's actually a slow death process. And the mechanisms that have been going into keeping us in this nightmare are elaborate and extreme resources going into holding in this false lower matrix. And why? Why would they have to use so much energy? Why would they have to poison us on all levels? Because the light is coming in. And so the astrology is so intense because it's speaking to the squeeze, it's speaking to the breakdown of our reality, and it's speaking to the more true light of who we are and our birthright as spiritual beings. And isn't it time to shine and to live this truth and to take back our life force that we've been giving over unknowingly to the lower matrix? Now, so Mercury in Scorpio is like, it's us moving into this territory of what has been hidden that is keeping us from moving forward. Uranus and Taurus is about this new age. It's about higher frequency vibrations infusing the earth. It's also about our self-worth, though. And especially for the SuperNova Soul, what's coming up right now is like, okay, you can entertain this thought that we're moving into something new. But if your life is total garbage and you're just trying to slog through every moment of every day, and you're trying to do your spiritual practices and you're trying to meditate and you're trying to be in the moment, and it's just nightmare all around you, and it's hard to hold that frequency. It's hard to hold that hope. It's hard to hold that, even though we know there's something else going on here. But this Uranus and Taurus is in the square with Mercury is saying that these are the issues that are keeping us, the lies, secrets, and how we've been. See, if humanity understood like even this much about how they've been manipulated and controlled, they would be like, what? But it's like we've been so manipulated and controlled and actually so put to sleep, so mind controlled that we don't even believe that information when it comes in front of us. I've talked to people, sometimes you kind of get on a little truth subject and you just drop a little truth bomb, right? You come back and they don't even remember. They don't even remember. And this is what we're dealing with here. And the thing for you, SuperNova Soul, is that you are that shaman that can hold this other truth and vibration. It's not easy right now, but that's who you are. That's this huge validation for you, right? Because Uranus and Taurus is about our self-worth too, like self-worth for the higher frequencies. Do we deserve to feel better? Do we deserve to move into the new age? Are you good enough? And that brings us back to these lower constructs from past lives and the nightmare trauma healing. Now, the whole point of the trauma programming is to keep us in time. And we are in this really weird place because we've got Mars still, we're feeling a little bit of Mars square Saturn moving into the exact Mars square Pluto from the 8th to the 10th. And this is about a breakdown of our whole paradigm of reality. And the deal is that we don't actually have past lives, like when we really get down to it, this whole thing is a complete and total illusion. But if we're kept in these stories from the past, in our psyche, then we're trapped in time. So it's like all of these forces wanting to create more trauma and trap us into trauma. And of course, as a light worker soul, SuperNova Soul, you've been targeted specifically with these trauma stories so that you never come into your power and you never break the code and you never challenge the matrix, you know? And especially because the people around you have turned against you in these past lives, right? It was like, this is how all of the most evil, dark things have happened on our planet, is through groupthink. Oh, well, I guess if they're doing it, then I need to do it. I guess if they have a mask on, I better put a mask on. I'm not going to think through about whether there's any science to show it actually works. I'm not going to think through that this might be a way to just exercise domination and control and get us to submit to authority or hide the violence that's trying to happen by the masks to silence us, right? And it's like, so it's a really weird, strange time, but it's also like the weirder it gets, the more there's that opportunity to be like, this is so weird, it can't be real. And I'm ready to be real. This is what Scorpio wants. Scorpio's like, I need to be real. Scorpio can't handle people who want to deal with a bunch of lies and like have a bunch of shadowy stuff in their field. You know, it's like they're way too sensitive. And it's like, get real with who you are and what's going on. And that square to Uranus now. So Mercury's coming into an exact square to Uranus in just a couple days, the 7th and the 8th. And then, but we'll stay close in this square through the 23rd as it turns, because it's going to turn retrograde and it's going to go back into this square the 19th, 20th. So this is the whole month of October. We've got this like shadowy energies, tension around what hasn't been revealed and the new energies that are trying to come in, you know. And it's that gridlock energy because we've got Mars and square to Saturn and Pluto, and that's about our reality, our manifested physical time-based reality breaking down, and Mars saying we got to fight for our life force back. When you are a human, unadulterated, unprogrammed, unmessed with in this world right now, you feel freaking amazing. And it's like, we've got to grab a hold of our life force, our ecstatic experience of existence. And it's a far cry from the nightmare that most of us are living and being played out around us. And going back to that groupthink think, it's like that's what's kept all the evolution from moving forward, is this like tribal reality that says, oh, I gotta go along. And this is how the SuperNova Soul got trapped too, right? So maybe we're like persecuted as a light worker, and then you're like, okay, I'm never going to do that again. I'm going to hide who I am. I'm going to get along. I'm just going to pretend I'm like everybody else, and it's game over. But those persecution lifetimes have programmed you with the trauma and low self-worth, you know, failure on your mission, all this garbage. And it's like, we got to just rewrite these nightmare stories and step into the dream, and everything is working together for us right now. And that's where you have to be like, we're so deep in this duality, in this fourth dimensional nightmare, but it's like that, then there's a point where everything is working, no matter how weird and, you know, effed up it is, it's working for your awakening, and you grab it and you say, okay. And it's like, there's this energy of course, the New Age spiritual teachings, like, be in the present moment, be in the present moment. And it's like, you can say that to yourself a million times. You can be in the present moment and still be worrying about the future and the past. You can be in the present moment and be rushing to get your stuff done. You can be in the present moment. So what we need to do is be in existence. Because these constructs, as they break down, it's not about being in the present moment. It's that's all there is. There is no time. This shift we're making into 5D reality, it's like time is a goes from a line to a circle, you know, and absolutely disorienting, but at the same time freeing, you know. So as you go through your personal experience, it's a lot like, you can't do as much as you know, in these higher frequency vibrations, you can't accomplish as much worldly things as you could in the lower dimensional frequencies, you know. And so there's a lot of tension coming up around that, because we're coming up against the construct of time. And so you got to be like you're trying to be in the present moment, which can actually work against you, but take it one step further to like existence. And what can you stop and be the eyes and ears of God and experience existence, the magic of being consciousness aware of itself in a body. So now, because we've got this tension and Mercury in the shadows being like, oh, the nightmare, it's like a scary, scary time. And on the surface of things, right? And we got Mars square Saturn and Pluto, reality, time breaking down, can't do it this way anymore. But then we've got Venus has moved into Virgo, coming into a trine with Uranus, and it's harmonizing, and it's an Earth trine. It's going to trine up with Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto through the month. And so it's like this stabilizing, kind of like able to stabilize these higher frequency vibrations and also support the clearing, the healing, the sorting out of the garbage. Our bodies need detoxes. Our psyche needs detox. Our whole world needs a big detox right now. It's like this Virgo, Venus and Virgo and Mercury and Scorpio. And it's like, ooh, we got to clean this up. And so Venus there is harmonizing this whole thing and coming into a trine with Uranus is saying, hey, let's clean it up. Let's do it. Let's enjoy these energies right here. You can give yourself permission, and yes, the nightmare will come back and haunt you. You got to be like, that's a construct that's based on the past, which isn't even real. So it's right now where we have to do this thing where you are that shaman and you got to hold the true reality, because that's your job. The world, the masses, as the reality and time breaks down, it's like, oh, there's, totally lost and going crazy and, zombie land. And that's why you're here, SuperNova Souls and all of the enlightened beings on the planet right now, and amazing master souls that have chosen to come into a body at this time, these amazing star beings that are being born as babies right now. We are all holding this frequency of this, there is let it break down. There's something else to catch us, whew, it's like waking up out of that bad nightmare and realizing it was a dream. And so because we have that Jupiter sextile Neptune in exact sextile until the 14th, right? So we're in this crucial period of time. Mercury turns retrograde on the 13th. So it's like right here, it's this crucial moment to grab a hold of what's more real, what feels better, your birthright of divine protection and higher frequency vibrations. And in the whole world's invalidating you. It has for many lifetimes. And it's time for you to just stop and validate yourself and validate the higher energies. And the only way you can do that is in that precious existence in that moment. So really powerful times, and definitely want to bring attention to around the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, around then, because it's going to be really potent, because we've got those Jupiter transits, Mars in square to Jupiter and Venus in trine to Jupiter. We're going to start feeling that actually this week, the Mars square Jupiter. And that's going to bring in, it's like, oh yeah, you guys, this isn't just about the darkness. It's a bloom of the darkness because the light's coming in. And so again, we're having all of this energy in October of intensity, but also that, by the end of October, you should feel way more secure and stable in holding these higher frequency vibrations. And everything coming up for you right now is showing you where you're trapped in time. We cannot go into the new age, into the higher dimensional frequencies and stay trapped in our trauma body and time. And so it's got to come up, and it's beautiful and it's excruciating and intense and insane. And here we are together. So hang in there, have a great week. Just be present as much as you can with the magic of existence. Grab a hold of that magic when you can, and live it and breathe it and be it. And thank you so much for being here and being you. So I look forward to seeing you soon in the next update. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.